Hello, welcome to Master Mathematics. My name is Mr. A, and in this video you are going to learn how to solve inequalities using multiplication or division. So there are two steps here that you see to solving inequalities using multiplication or division, and these two steps, if you have seen any of my other videos, will look very familiar to you. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, go ahead, check some of them out, and while you're at it, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the Master Mathematics channel. So step number one is to identify the variable and the operation in the inequality. So let's look at our first inequality. We have x times 8 is greater than 40. Now, you're not going to see too many problems written this way, or I should say inequalities written this way. What you'll most likely see is 8x is greater than 40. I'm writing it this way just so you can see what the operation is. But know that most of the time you're just going to see 8x where you've got that number and the variable right next to it. That does mean multiplication. Again, I'm just writing it in this way so this way you can see the operation. So I need to identify what's the variable. The variable is x. What is the operation? The operation is multiplication. So I need to then use the inverse operation to isolate the variable on one side of the inequality. This word inverse means opposite. So I need to use the opposite of multiplication, which is division. And I'm going to write that in here, and then I want to get back to what 2a is. So just looking at 2a real quick, I wrote my division sign in. And a here says if you multiply or divide by a negative number, you also need to flip the inequality sign. The sign remains the same if you multiply or divide by a positive number. Now in this one, no negative numbers in this example. Okay, so I don't need to do anything to the sign. I just need to follow step 1 and step 2. I don't need to worry about step 2a. So I divide each side by 8. Okay, cool. Now let's work left to right. 8 divided by 8 is 1. I'm just going to cross that out because I already have x there. I already have 1x written. I don't need to write 1 again. It's redundant. And then 40 divided by 8 is 5. Now I bring down the rest of the inequality, which is x and the greater than sign. So x is greater than 5. That means any number greater than 5 is a solution to this inequality. So that could be 6, that could be 7, that could be 8, that could be 1 million, that could be a billion, that could also be 5.001. Any number greater than 5 is going to be a solution. Now, let's look at our second example over here, which is 6 is less than n divided by 3. And what we have to do here is the same thing. We're going to follow our steps. So step 1 is to identify the variable, which is n, and the operation, which is division. Now we go on to step 2. We have to use the inverse operation or the opposite operation to isolate the variable. So the opposite of division is multiplication. I'm going to multiply each side by 3, and then I'm going to work left to right. So 6 times 3 is 18, and then 3 divided by 3 is 1. So again, just going to cross that out. And now I'm going to bring down the parts of the inequality that we did not use, which are the less than sign and the variable of n. Now this reads 18 is less than n. Now, the way my brain works is that's a little complex for me, but I do know that I can flip the inequality, including the sign. So this way it reads a little easier. It's a little easier for me to comprehend. Okay, so when I say flip it, I mean I'm going to move the n to the left. And now I have to change the inequality to a greater than sign because I'm switching the order that I'm going to read this. And then 18. Now this makes a lot more sense to me. N is greater than 18. So now I know a solution or the solutions to this inequality are any numbers greater than 18. A lot like in our first example, it was any numbers greater than 5. So again, in this one, n is greater than 18. That means my solution can be 19, it can be 20, it could be 18.5, it could be 2 billion. Any number greater than 18 is the solution. Thank you so much for being here today. My name is Mr. A. This channel is called Master Mathematics, and until the next one, adios.